Dak, first season here under Brian Schottenheimer. Can you tell me what he's brought to you guys?
Yeah, he's brought a lot of energy, just a genuine guy who, he's the same guy that you see, that the world sees on TV, is the same guy that we see in team meetings and individual meetings, and very consistent with his approach. He always says, the process doesn't change, and nobody walks that walk or talks that talk better than Schotty, and I think that's what you're looking for in a leader, and especially a leader in an organization like this where the noise and everything can be so up and down. He's a steady pace and consistent, and it's important for us.
You touched on the noise. How do you guys deal with the noise? Because there's always a lot around here.
Yeah, as a veteran in the locker room and as a team leader, it's easy to say just, block it out and cancel it. And it's easy for me to do after, being here 10 years. I understand that, none of it's good. Whether it's good noise or bad noise, it's like the old saying, it's all rat poison. So I just try to stay away from it. It's harder, for some of the young guys, right? Such a social media era. I just try to echo it doesn't really matter, right? That you can control what you control the controllables, and just understand that there's always going to be that, good or bad. So what we can't do is allow that to have an effect on what we believe about ourselves.
Dak, some of the noise from Jerry Jones as the season was kicking off. Jerry said, as he was explaining why he paid you and not Micah, he said, "It's very simple. Dak was indispensable. In my mind, Micah wasn't." What kind of pressure does that put on you to go out and perform?
No pressure, really. I think if anything, what it says is our expectations and our standards are aligned. I understand what Jerry is trying to do around here, and the ultimate goal is winning. He's going to make noise and do that, right? He said it before, if there's not enough noise, he'll create it himself and make it a soap opera. But at the end of the day, our jobs as players and men in the locker room is to win and to do whatever it takes to win. And so for me, what he's saying is just throughout my preparation, just the way that I approach the game, is always just trying to do it right. I think just right, do the next thing right. And I think he's just alluding to putting your head down and focusing and being a leader of this team. I don't think that's pressure when he says that. Is more of we have a shared expectation.
You arguably are playing some of your best football. You have the best quarterback rating in the league. What is working so well for you right now?
Experience is the best teacher. I think just being 10 years into this, being hurt last year and just seeing the game from up in the box and how the coaches were calling it, took so many nuggets from that are helping me this year. And just having a consistent voice or the continuity in Schotty, even though you have a new head coach, he's a guy that's been a offensive coordinator and has been around for the last few years. So especially on the offensive side, we weren't having to start over. We're just taking a step from where we've been, and having Schotty, he understands what our strengths and weaknesses were in the past, and so now we're just being diligent in how we attack, and it's just all playing out. But I'm just a result of those other 10 guys around me as well.
Well, I was going to say, the other 10 guys around you, together you guys also one of the best scoring offenses in the league. Yeah. How are you guys all getting on the same page and working so well together? Yeah,
I credit Schotty and the coaches again, and the plan that they're giving us, allowing us to stay balanced and attacking. And we wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for the guys up front. So credit that offensive line and Javonte Williams and the running backs and creating a run game and allowing us to then get our play actions and our action passes happen off of that, because I believe when we start the run, we can be balanced there. The rest of the offense is just going to open up when we're able to throw it to guys and have one-on-ones with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I feel like we're going to win that matchup every time.
It's funny, I heard a reporter ask you the other evening, well, why did you go to George Pickens, or why didn't you go to George Pickens when you had CeeDee Lamb and vice versa? How do you decide to go to CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens? What goes in that decision?
It's not an easy decision. It's throughout the week and just my game plan and my notes. And, when they're out there and you've got one on each side, the other things start to take account. Not necessarily who the guy is, but who's guarding them, or what's the coverage, or where's that second help player at? Is he closer to CeeDee or is he closer to George? And usually just allow all that to take over and we make that decision.
What's it like as a quarterback have both of those options?
It's amazing. It's fun. It's exciting. Something never been a part of. I've played with a lot of great players and have had multiple weapons at times, but to have two elite playmakers out there and two true number ones, guys that want the ball in their hands, guys that believe if they're not getting it, they can be that difference maker, and that's what you want. It's special. It's a lot of responsibility, right, in getting those to the balls. And we always say there's not enough balls. There's only one. So. But fortunately, we can spread it around. We can make them both happy, and those guys don't have big egos, and they just want to see us win.
Dak, a little bit of a challenging season. It's a win, it's a loss, it's a tie. You guys have run the whole gamut every week, it seems. How do you mentally deal with that, and how do you guys find consistency?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but we have to understand that we control that. We're ultimately the product that's going out there, going up and down, up and down. So it's the way that we approach practice. It's the way that we approach the building. I think when we start and be consistent there and make sure that we're getting better each and every practice or each and every rep we're doing, that's just going to carry over to the games. And as we mentioned earlier, we can't play the wave of the expectations around us. You know, we go and win a game and the world and Cowboys media, we're going to the playoffs, we're a Super Bowl team, and then you lose a game and they say we're the worst team in the league. So you can't ride that wave of up and down. You got to remember who you are and ultimately how you got there, and that's work, and just staying consistent to that, we'll figure this out.
How do you define a 3-4-1 team?
A lot left to play. Find consistency in our work ethic, stick together, and let's get a win streak going. And this can be a playoff team and better. I've been on teams who've been in this situation before, and what it's about is getting hot and understanding why you're able to strike that match and keeping that match going.
As well as the offense has been playing, the defense has been struggling. What do you say to those guys?
Yeah, continue to work, and more importantly than that, trust the man next to you. A lot of times in adversity, right, you want to look left and right and potentially even point fingers, but look in the mirror and figure out what can I do to give the guy next to me just a little bit more, or what can I do on that play to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I believe if and when they all continue to do that, hold themselves accountable and communicate it out, they'll make strides and improvements.
Does that side of the ball create pressure for you guys to go out and feel like you have to score every single drive?
No, and it can't. I know there's situations and certain times in games you can feel it, but we've got to guard against that. And more importantly than that, because our expectations are to score every time we have the ball. So I think if we just keep that in our minds and keep that at the forefront of the purpose of what we're trying to do, we'll be okay. And no difference than those guys having to believe in one another. We've got to believe that they're going to go out there and make the stop. We have to believe that they're going to get us the ball back. And when you're able to do that, the whole game feels better, and it usually turns out better.
I know you said you can't ride the media wave of you guys are the best, the worst, the best, the worst. But what is the potential of this team?
Yeah, I mean, when you've only flashed your best here and there, it's hard to give the full potential. But I know that when everybody is locked in, when everybody is focused and they're communicating out and we're showing our true brotherhood and love for one another, the sky's the limit. This team is explosive as any I've ever been around on offense. And when you combine that with some takeaways on defense, it's the perfect match. But we just got to put it together and, more importantly, put it together consistently.